else.
How about Denver's dead cap? 85. They said, yup. Yeah, because the salary cap's only going yodely. They just charge Amazon $120 million for one game. One game. The salary cap is only going to keep climbing. Is that what they're all betting, you think? Is that what the Denver Broncos are thinking?
Well, absolutely. And look, this comes down to, I think, one of Sean Payton's core beliefs. If you make a mistake, and I think this applies to anything, if you make a mistake, you can either double down and make it worse, or you can admit the mistake and move on. And that's why they're cutting Russell Wilson. And this was the whole conversation that happened. It gets twisted around a little bit depending upon who you listen to. They went to Russell Wilson last year and said, we want to move the day that your 2025 salary of $37 million becomes fully guaranteed from March 17 of 2024. Because if he would have come out of last season with an injury and he can't pass a physical by 12 days from now, that $37 million's gone on top of the other $124 million he's already getting. So they wanted to move that vesting date. And that's when he said no, and that's when it all went sideways. So from the Broncos' perspective, are we going to throw another $37 million after $124 million that we don't think is getting us what we want? And yeah, it's going to be a big cap mess, but we don't have to write a check for another $37 million for next year once we've decided this isn't a franchise quarterback. It's that simple, and that's why they're taking that. Now, they're going to split it over 2 years. There's two different ways they can do it, but it is $85 million over the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's like 35-6 or 49-4 or 35-4.
It's 35-4 and 49-6, or it's 53 and 32. There's an option bonus, and how they treat it depends on how much of a hit they take which year.
It all makes sense, right? Yeah. Salary cap's definitely real, too. There's another team that you might know a little bit about that has some question marks. Go ahead, Tone Diggs.
Yeah, Florio, you are connected to the Pittsburgh area regionally. You're very, very close. I know you have your contacts there. You talked about Russell Wilson not wanting to compete with Kenny for a job. There's a rumor that Justin Fields' trade value is plummeting because there's not as many teams as they thought that would be up for it. Who do you think is going to be the day one starter, or who will they bring in to compete with Kenny?
Well, at one point earlier in the offseason, Art Rooney II, the CEO of the team, made the comment about not ruling out the possibility of acquiring a veteran quarterback. Jerry Dulac of the Post-Gazette, and these guys that have been covering the team forever, they're embedded. They know what's going on. When he comes out and says they don't want a veteran quarterback who's coming to town with the desire to start, that's a red flag. And last week in Indianapolis, one of the things I picked up from talking to people, this isn't some bit by the Steelers. And this fits with how they are. Yeah. They don't go out and make a big splash in free agency. They try to groom the guys they have. They gave Terry Bradshaw 5 years to figure out how to play quarterback in the NFL, and it worked. So here they are, less than 2 years removed from using a first-round pick on Kenny Pickett. They like what Mason Rudolph did. He's due to become a free agent. I think they're committed to Pickett versus Rudolph, and one of those two guys is going to be the starter week one. And any veteran they bring in would just be another guy to be part of that conversation, but not a viable contender to start. And that's why I don't think Russ goes there, because he's going to want to go somewhere where they roll out the red carpet or the blue carpet, as the case may be, and say, you're our QB1 every week of the year.